I want to ask you a question. When you hear the word broken, what crosses your mind? Is it physically broken like a CD? Is it a concept that can't seem to line up quite right? Or is it somebody giving up all hope and just embracing despair? Can broken be positive? Or can it ruin an experience? Oh, and what the heck does this have to do with a game like Destiny? Trust me, this doesn't apply to anything we already talked about in a previous video. No, this question I believe applies to one weapon in Destiny that has never returned since its birth with the game's launch back in 2014. The weapon in question is called the Pocket Infinity, and after this video I think the picture will be painted more clear as to why this exotic answers every avenue of the word broken. So I want to tell you about this broken exotic, but I feel like there's something else out there that is debatably more broken, and that is your privacy. Privacy in the internet is like peanut butter and ketchup. They just don't go together. But with today's sponsor, NordVPN, you will have the security needed to roam the internet streets knowing that you are protected. Here's some cool info about Nord that may get you excited about using the VPN service. No data logging, super fast servers in over 60 countries, and my personal favorite, I can swap countries with a click of the extension and watch shows and movies on Netflix that aren't available in my own country. Seriously, I think I've watched a bunch of shows and a bunch of movies that just aren't available in the States right now. So, if protecting your internet privacy and getting the opportunity of a whole lot more variety on Netflix sounds interesting to you, go on over to NordVPN and try out their award-winning services with code EvanF1997 at checkout. And hey, if you don't like it, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you to Nord for sponsoring this video, and I hope all of you guys go check it out. The link will be in the description. Some footage in this video is from players around the community. Their links will be in the description of this video, as well as the music too. Here's the deal with a game like Destiny. A game trying to reach for as much ambition as possible, while also having some seriously rushed ideas being brought forward. You're inevitably going to swing hard in some directions and very light in others. The light side of the game was obviously the story and early game content. Actually, for how long the game was in development and how hyped the game was coming off of Halo for Bungie and the peak of Call of Duty fame for Activision, this game was set to break the hype scale, but the content for the most part was crushed by that very same scale. Of course, saving graces aside, the game was complained about for its lack of story, its hidden DLC in the game already, the lack of clear goals, its tremendous spike in difficulty, and PvP being a theme park of what the fuck? Hold on to that last one for a moment. PvP, or in Destiny, the Crucible. No, not that book about witch hunting, but some cheaters nowadays will let you believe witches really do exist.
Okay, someone got Tether already. Alright, let's win. We're winning this shit.
Bro, man. Bro, what the f is this?
I thought you...
Dude, it's an alien, bro.
What is this?
Oh my god.
Look at this.
Yo, I got the biggest scare of my life.
The Crucible, which houses modes like 6v6 player versus player combat, was the definition of an afterthought to me when I first picked up this game. Heavy ammo everywhere in full, special ammo everywhere in full, supers galore. It was like mayhem inside the mode with a lot of charm, However, bringing your exotics and legendaries you earned in activities like strikes and raids was something unique to the game and truly still is. It's something that makes Destiny, well, Destiny. Let's bridge that last part again though. The PvE side of the game translating to PvP. And let's hone in on one weapon that carried all of those broken pieces to the mode. The Pocket Infinity. This weapon. The weapon that had a quest of its own to gather, and the way you even started the quest was some turning in bounties hoping for an exotic bounty to drop. This could be one bounty, or weeks of turning in bounties. The weapons from these bounties included staples to the series like Thorn and Bad Juju, but trust me, with all due respect to those weapons, they really couldn't hold a candle to the strength of Pocket Infinity at that time. So, the quest was fairly simple. Pick up the Shattered Memory Fragment from the vendor and go forward doing some fetch quests and a pretty easy heroic mission. The next step, which I really found kind of ironic, was to visit the gunsmith and dismantle 10 rare fusion rifles, which he is selling! Hey, what can I say? I respect the hustle. Then just kill 200 enemies in a nightfall with a fusion rifle and get your Pocket Infinity. Now you're wondering, what made this thing extremely lethal and broken on the first front? And I will tell you, it's called power. So the perk on this one gave you the ability to hold down the trigger and fire a bunch of shots at once at rapid speed. The magazine started with 3 shots, so that's really not that bad, right? Now with the perk Enhanced Battery, this had 8 shots in the magazine.
Martin, do you have Pocket Infinity ammo? I want to see that shoot again.
Oh my god.
What is
Any
that?
bullets must have a chance to go back into the magazine, so...
That's bonkers. I'm sorry. But
There's a gang going, guys.
You're still shooting that.
That's not even the beginning of it. This one could store in total over 30 rounds in it. And because fusion rifles were so powerful when the game launched in both PvE and PvP, remember Destiny shares a sandbox, this one was bashing in every activity of the game. Oh, let's not even forget the part of the Pocket Infinity perk, which allows those missed shots in full auto to return to the magazine. The very definition of insanity, and one on a level of broken. Oh, but that's only part 1 of the issue with this bad boy. No. This one goes deeper. This one wasn't just bashing people in Crucible and in PvE. No, it was bashing your whole entire console too. Yeah, this weapon was doing so much on screen and was such a buggy mess that it was crashing people's games left and right too. Imagine trying to use a gun and the gun being so strong that it shuts down your game because it's got to kill everything on screen, even the screen itself. This one didn't last for too long though, as Bungie slapped a nerf on this weapon and took away the extra reserves, so it only had 4 max in the magazine, had less range, did less damage, but the thing is, it was still strong. Especially in PvP, to the point where Bungie had to slot the nuclear launch keys on it and didn't let it come forward into any other year outside of the first of Destiny 1. It didn't get the royal treatment like Galahorn or Icebreaker. No, it got locked up in a cell for the rest of its existence, praying that someone would bust it out one day. It did kind of get busted out one day, and it did have a prison baby. As a weapon called Telesto would pay visits to the Pocket Infinity cell in Destiny 1, they spawned a child in Destiny 2 named Merciless. An exotic fusion rifle which gets a faster charge the more you hit one target until you have to reload. Merciless is a good kid so far though. Hasn't gotten in any trouble, hasn't broken the game of Destiny 2, but Telesto on the other hand must be trying to break the Infinity out, because this one has caused just about every major damage bug, progression bug, armor 2.0 bug, any kind of bug that you can name to happen in Destiny 2. Some bugs are actually pretty helpful though, like the public event blind well bug, where you could shoot the beacons in the center to speed up progress tenfold, while other bugs allow you to do things like this.
go. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Let's go, dude! Classic!
I will let Cheese Forever give you a brief glimpse into some of these, as he has made a whole video on the history of the Telesto bugs already.
Hey guys, you're here for a history of Telesto glitches. Whether it's instant super, unlimited special and heavy ammo, easy perk activation, or instant activity completion, this gun has done it all. Even being disabled for a time, this has made it infamous, loved and hated by all. Bungie is running scared from this gun. It's safe to say Telesto the Besto won't be in Destiny 3.
Oh, and also,
Apparently it was found during the Warmind DLC that shooting tons of Telesto bolts at a Guardian was actually able to crash their game.
are you behind all this? You can tell me. So yeah, that's the Pocket Infinity, and that's why it was the most broken exotic weapon of all time, with the Telesto kind of being the new version of it, with the game even crashing with Telesto. Bungie said they would never bring the Pocket Infinity back to the game, and there's good reason why. I mean, think about it. It crashed games, it was very, very broken, and could cause a lot of things to happen as a result. And Telesto is a good example of that, and I doubt if Bungie would ever bring Telesto into Destiny 3 if that game even happens down the line. I've heard people say the Pocket Infinity should come back as a perk instead of a weapon, and I think I'm okay with that, as long as your console or PC is okay with that too. But we will have to see another day. Anyways, if you did enjoy this sort of deep dive, a like would be greatly appreciated, as well as a subscription. You can talk all things Destiny and other games with me on Twitch. The link to that is in the description as well. Special thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone.
Hey Dado, why isn't Pocket Infinity back with all of the other weapons? And the reason is likely because it was prone to breaking. Not being overpowered broken, although that was sometimes the case, but literally, the weapon would just not work as intended.
It's this one. It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses.
I hit jump! No! There is no way! I hit jump a good 10 feet!
We need to wait for the next one, because Robert and I are a little mismatched.
Okay. Oh
What?
my god.
Someone killed him with a sparrow.
It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses.